This podcast is a quest for well-being, a quest for a meaningful life through the exploration of fundamental truth. Enlightening ideas, insights on physical, mental, and spiritual health. The inspiration is love. The aspiration is to awaken new ways of thinking that can lead us to a new way of being well. Welcome to Body, Mind, and Soul Healing Conversations.
Trust your wound to a teacher's surgery. Flies collect on a wound. They cover it. Those flies of your self-protecting feelings, your love for what you think is yours. Let a teacher wave away the flies and put a plaster on the wound. Don't turn your head. Keep looking at the bandaged place. That's where the light enters you. And don't believe for a moment that you're healing yourself. Written by Rumi. Valeria Teles interviews Virginia Kelly, a healer, holistic practitioner, licensed acupuncturist and psychotherapist, counselor, artist, educator, and owner of Kelly's Points Healing Arts. Virginia was exposed to medical information and formation since childhood, for what she supports the integration of Eastern and Western medicine in what she calls the Yin-Yang of Health. She grew up in Argentina, so her practice is bilingual, English and Spanish. Virginia is also a Feng Shui Consultant, multimedia artist, and a former Tango Dancer, having various written pieces published, fine art exhibited, and has performed internationally. It was when she was teaching that she discovered to be of therapeutic significance for her clients, for which she implements as art therapy in her work with minors. Her mission is to combine the therapeutic effects of art with the art of healing in order to restore what was meant to be a holistic human being. Meet Virginia at virginiakelly.com. Here is the interview with Virginia Kelly.
In your own words, who am I speaking with today?
I've been described as a Renaissance woman. Maybe because in different periods of my life, I had explored different things. Actually, most of my life, including nowadays, I tend to have a lot of things going on. And in this modern Western world, that is sometimes misconstrued as lack of focus or direction. But I'm more of the ancient and Eastern thought that everything is related. And in my experience, different aspects of life are like different facets of the same diamond. So yes, I can relate to the archetype of the Renaissance woman.
What is life to you?
Life for me is an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to learn, to experience, to expand, and even to make a difference.
What do you think is the opposite of life?
The opposite of life is not death. Death is part of it. The opposite of life is lack of life, a deficiency in the life force, when you are alive but not lively, when you lack purpose, motivation, inspiration. What is more alive to you, the memory of a loved one or someone empathetic to life?
What is the purpose of the human experience?
The purpose of human experience is to learn and raise consciousness. People think that the purpose of life is happiness, and that's a feeling that only leads to frustration, because God knows that we don't learn much from easiness, and by all means, you should rejoice in the opportunity to be alive with all its pitfalls. But when you realize that every fall had a lesson, you can move along.
At this time, what is the purpose of your life?
Like everyone else is learning and raising consciousness, but specifically for me is to help others. The more I learn, the more I teach, the more I heal both myself and others, the more I help.
What are some of the greatest misconceptions about happiness, in your opinion?
The greatest misconception is that happiness is a goal to achieve and maintain. And happiness, like other emotions, are feelings and therefore bound to be fleeting. Emotions are energy in motion, and they change like the weather. When you let go of that need to be happy, it's relieving and paradoxically more of a content and happy place to be in.
What do you love most about being in a human body?
What I love the most about the human body is pleasure. Most physical necessities are driven by pleasurable sensations, like eating when you're hungry or taking a bath when you're cold, and so on. But not just primary necessities. I have the necessity to dance, the necessity to sing, and satisfying the body's needs. And I'm not talking about indulging, but taking care of yourself. You end up enjoying the little pleasures of life.
What is healing to you?
Healing for me is understanding, is correcting an error, is raising consciousness, is letting go, is freeing yourself from unnecessary pain. And why do I say unnecessary? Because some pain serves a higher purpose. It makes you address that which is in need of care. But after you've done so, you should be able to move on and not get stuck in the past or in the pain. As they say, it was a lesson and not a life sentence.
What is the meaning of freedom to you? What is to be free?
Freedom is the ability to do, think, and express the way I need or want as far as it doesn't harm anybody else. These days, the concept of freedom has been bastardized and coerced to fit a faulty narrative that aims to push a political agenda. People are self-editing and censoring themselves as not to affect others, giving others too much power over themselves, and others feeling entitled to your censoring as well. It's a shame. It only renders all of us weaker.
At this time, what is the world's greatest need? And also, do you have a vision for a new reality?
The world's greatest need at the moment is truth. We're living in the age of deception, and there was a time where truth was hidden from the people, but truth is starting to come out, and now people are hiding from the truth because it's an ugly truth. It's something that we don't want to see. Now, my vision for the world is disclosure. And as they say, truth will set you free, but first you'll hate it.
What is your understanding and idea of love?
Love had changed for me over the years. When I was young and passionate, I thought that love was infatuation. But love is more than romantic. Love is agape. Love is the ability to step into somebody else's shoes, is empathy, is compassion. As we say in Spanish, con with passion, like the passion of the Christ. And passion as well goes beyond that which is erotic. Passion is something that by definition involves a certain degree of suffering, and love has to comprehend that suffering for transformation and transmutation.
What is inner peace to you?
Inner peace is the ability to trust that no matter what, things are the way they should be and not the way we thought or wanted them to be. Even when we don't understand it. We don't get the full script up until the movie is over. And since we're in the middle of the dance, we have to keep on moving and face the music. There's a bigger picture that we can't yet see. And trusting that leads to inner peace.
What, where, and who is God to you?
God is not an old dude with a long beard. God is energy. God is here and God is now. God is us. God is that. They can't be defined nor contained by the limitations of our human mind. It's like the concept of eternity, of infinite. God is all-encompassing existence.
What is to be spiritual? And what is spirituality?
To be spiritual is to acknowledge that there's more to the story that we see, feel, and touch. Spirituality can be felt in your core being as well. Is an inner knowing, a compass, the north that leads your life where it's meant to go.
How do you define success? What is to be successful to you?
There's a misconception about the common definition of success. People think that leads to happiness. And I've seen people stress out by success. And stress is not a happy place. So this is not to discourage people from being ambitious and trying to be successful, but to make people question what would success be for them that could lead to a more happy existence. For me, success is all about balance. There's a time to work and a time for rest, a time for study and a time for joy, a time for loved ones and a time for myself, a time for action and a time for contemplation. When I'm able to balance all these aspects of life that each of them need my attention, I feel content. That for me is a happy place.
So, why did you choose to do what you do?
So, did I choose or was I chosen? Sometimes when you're into something, it's like being possessed. You just can't stop doing that which you like. It's like food for your soul and you just can't go hungry. That's where the old debate of predetermination versus free will can open a whole new Pandora box.
Talk to me for a moment about the services you offer.
I do mainly a blend of Eastern medicine, counseling, natural remedies, and many healing techniques that I gather from multiple teachings and experiences throughout my life. I can say that my practice is ever changing and evolving as I learn more and experience more. Lately, it's taking more of a spiritual turn as the world is in greater need of it. And also, I've been receiving a lot more information, both through dreams and meditations, about what people, especially my patients, need.
Where can we find more information about you, your work, products, services, and future projects?
You can go to my website, virginiakelly.com. I also have a YouTube channel, and you can follow me in social media as well.
We are almost at the end of our conversation, and I have two final questions for you. If you knew you would die soon, meaning losing the body, would you make any change in your life or do anything in a different way?
If I were to die soon, I think I would decide to dedicate more time to art making, be less concerned with building a financial future, and rejoice more in the here and now, in the experience of creation.
What are three things about life you know for sure as of this moment?
Three things about life that I'm sure as of this moment. Well, I don't think I can be sure of anything as of this moment or even ever. But if I had to pick three things, it would be A, that there's a spiritual, energetic, quantum, bigger world than the little one that we live in. B, that we are in the age of awakening, though some still resist. But we're all in this together. And unfortunately, I'm afraid we will go through even more discomfort up until everyone catches up. So I'd say stop resisting and to see that the only way out is in. We need to go back to the basis, to natural living, to building personal relationships that work for us and let go of the rest. The simplest ways were the wisest ways. We've been lost for so long, but the time has come to go back home.
Thank you so much for your presence, for sharing your wisdom and doing what you do.
Thank you for listening. To learn more about Virginia Kelly and her work, please visit virginiakelly.com.
To learn more about this podcast, please visit fitforjoy.org/podcast. Thank you again for listening, and bye for now.